Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins Collections, where we explore the incredible world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're shining a spotlight on a truly special and unique piece of American history, the United States Roosevelt Silver $1 dime from 1980. While you might think this coin is just another dime, trust me, there's much more to it than meets the eye. Stick around until the end of the video, where we'll reveal the astonishing value of this coin. It's sure to surprise you. The Roosevelt Dime is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, having been minted since 1946 in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. What many don't know is that the 1980 Roosevelt Dime holds particular significance, especially among collectors and investors in the numismatic world. Unlike other coins produced during this time, the 1980 Roosevelt Dime was made with a unique set of circumstances that make it highly desirable. The 1980 Roosevelt Dime was part of a series that followed the transition to a copper-nickel alloy composition. During this era, many coins underwent changes in both design and material. However, while the dime was primarily produced in this new alloy, it also marks an interesting period in U.S. minting practices. And it's not just about the metal, it's also about the rarity of certain varieties of this coin, especially when it comes to its mint marks. Now, let's talk about the design of the coin itself. On the obverse side, you'll find the distinguished portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who served as the 32nd President of the United States. His profile, captured by renowned artist John R. Sinek, is surrounded by the words "Liberty" and the year of minting, 1980. The simplicity and elegance of this design have made it a lasting symbol of Roosevelt's leadership and the resilience of the American people during his presidency. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the reverse side, which features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of freedom, peace, and strength. These elements were designed to represent the unity and strength of the nation. The design, which has remained consistent over the years, adds to the timeless appeal of the Roosevelt Dime. But here's where it gets interesting: not all 1980 Roosevelt dimes are created equal. While most of these coins were made for circulation, a limited number were struck with particular variations that make them extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. These variations include minor minting errors, different die markings, and even coins that were struck in higher grades of quality. These coins, often found in mint condition or with unique mint marks, are the ones that can fetch extraordinary prices on the market. The most significant factor contributing to the value of the 1980 Roosevelt Silver Dime is its condition. While the vast majority of these dimes were used in regular circulation and show signs of wear, coins that have been well preserved, particularly those that were carefully stored or never used, are exceptionally valuable. Coins that have been graded as MS-67 or higher, meaning they are in mint state and show no signs of wear, are the most prized among collectors. Moreover, the mint mark plays a crucial role in determining the value of a particular Roosevelt dime. The 1980 dime was struck at multiple U.S. mint facilities, each using a distinct mint mark. Coins minted in Philadelphia will have no mint mark, while those minted in Denver will have a D, and those minted in San Francisco will bear the S mint mark. While the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the most dimes, the San Francisco mint produced fewer coins, which makes those dimes significantly rarer and often more valuable. In addition to the standard varieties, there are also some dimes that were mistakenly struck with errors during the minting process. These error coins, including those with misaligned dies, double strikes, or incorrect mint marks, are among the most coveted by collectors. Error coins are always in high demand because they represent an anomaly in the minting process, making them one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from regular coins. So, how much could a 1980 Roosevelt Silver $1 dime be worth? Well, if you happen to have one in perfect condition, especially if it's a rare variety or has an error, prepare to be amazed. The value of this dime can reach heights that most people wouldn't believe possible. While most dimes from this year are worth just a few dollars, a pristine, rare, or error-struck 1980 Roosevelt dime could be worth as much as $90,000. Today, we have an exciting coin to talk about: the United States Roosevelt Silver $1 dime from the year 2000. At first glance, this might seem like just another dime from the turn of the century, but as you'll soon find out, this little coin is far more valuable than you might think. Stick with us as we uncover the incredible worth of the 2000 Roosevelt dime and why it could be worth a small fortune. First, let's start by talking a bit about the history and context of this coin. The Roosevelt dime, as many of you already know, has been in circulation since 1946, issued in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death. He was known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and the coin featuring his profile has been a lasting tribute to his legacy. Now, by the year 2000, the Roosevelt dime had undergone several changes, both in terms of its composition and its design. In fact, the coin was made with a mixture of copper and nickel, though it did contain a bit of silver, which is why it is often referred to as a silver dime, even though it is not entirely silver like earlier versions. The 2000 dime, minted just as the new millennium began, has a special place in U.S. coinage history, and here's why. It was minted at the height of the modern numismatic era, with a shift toward more specialized and meticulous coin production. The 2000 Roosevelt dime, like most dimes, has a simple yet elegant design. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, captured in profile by artist John R. Sinek. Roosevelt's face is encircled by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of minting, 2000. This clean and straightforward design has become synonymous with the values of liberty and leadership that Roosevelt represented. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the familiar image of a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols that reflect the unity, peace, and strength of the American people. The torch represents freedom, the olive branch stands for peace, and the oak branch is a symbol of strength. Together, these elements represent the enduring ideals that have shaped the United States for generations. So, what makes the 2000 Roosevelt Silver One Dime special in the world of coin collectors? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and the nuances of minting. You see, the U.S. Mint produces billions of coins each year, and while most of them enter circulation and end up in people's pockets, a few end up as rare and valuable finds. The 2000 Roosevelt dime is no exception. Though it was widely circulated, some versions of the 2000 dime, specifically those with particular minting characteristics, are worth far more than face value. What collectors are really looking for are dimes that have been well preserved, as the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that have been carefully stored, protected from wear and tear, and kept in mint condition are much rarer than those that have been passed around in daily transactions. The 2000 Roosevelt dime is no exception. If you happen to come across one in near perfect or pristine condition, free from any scratches, dents, or discoloration, it's highly likely that it will fetch a premium price among collectors. Another factor that makes this coin particularly valuable is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produces coins at different locations, and depending on where the coin was minted, it can make a big difference in its value. The 2000 Roosevelt dime was minted at multiple locations, with the Philadelphia Mint producing coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint using a D, and the San Francisco Mint marking coins with an S. Coins from the San Francisco Mint, due to their lower mintage and limited circulation, are often more sought after by collectors, but here's where it gets even more interesting. Some 2000 dimes were struck with minor errors or unique features that make them incredibly rare and valuable. Whether it's a slight misalignment in the design, a doubled die, or other minting errors, these error coins are highly prized by collectors because they represent something rare and different from the standard issue. These dimes are incredibly hard to find, and when one pops up, it can send shockwaves through the numismatic community. So, what is the actual value of the 2000 Roosevelt Silver One Dime? Well, if you happen to have one in pristine condition, or better yet, one with an error or unique minting feature, you could be sitting on a small fortune. While most of these dimes in regular circulation might be worth only a few dollars above face value, a rare, high-grade, or error-struck 2000 Roosevelt dime could be worth an eye-popping $50,000. Yes, that's right, $50,000 for a single dime. It's hard to believe that such a small and seemingly insignificant coin could be worth so much, but that's the beauty of the coin collecting world. Coins are more than just currency, they are pieces of history, and the rarer and more unique they are, the higher their value. Today, we've got something exciting to talk about: the United States Roosevelt Silver $1 from 2007. Now, you might be thinking, how special can a coin from 2007 really be? Well, you'll be surprised to learn that this particular dime could be worth far more than you would ever expect. So, stick around as we unravel the fascinating history and potential value of the 2007 Roosevelt dime. By the end of the video, you'll be shocked to find out just how much this dime could be worth. To start, let's talk about the history of the Roosevelt dime. First minted in 1946 to honor the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the dime features his portrait on the obverse side. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The coin has been in circulation ever since, with slight design changes over the years, but its significance and value have only grown with time. The 2007 Roosevelt Silver $1, like most dimes minted around this time, was primarily composed of a copper-nickel alloy, with only a small amount of silver content. Even though the silver content in these coins is minimal compared to earlier dimes, they still carry the Roosevelt legacy and represent an important part of American coinage. The 2007 version of the coin, produced by the U.S. Mint, is especially unique due to the era it was minted in, coming just after the economic turbulence of the early 2000s and during a time of transition in both the United States and global economies. The design of the 2007 Roosevelt dime may seem simple, but it carries a powerful message. The obverse side of the coin features the well-known profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a representation of his legacy, encircled by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the minting year, 2007. His image has been carefully engraved, and the coin reflects his enduring impact on American politics and society. On the reverse side, the coin displays the iconic image of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of freedom, peace, and strength. These elements have been part of the design for many years and reflect the enduring ideals of the United States. Together, these symbols remind us of the strength of the American people and their commitment to liberty and peace. So, what makes the 2007 Roosevelt Silver $1 stand out in the world of coin collecting? To answer that, we need to dive into the aspects that collectors look for when evaluating coins. One of the most important factors is the coin's condition. Dimes that were circulated and spent in daily transactions often show signs of wear, with scratches, discoloration, and dents. However, coins that have been carefully preserved, stored, and kept in near-perfect condition are incredibly rare, and those are the coins that can demand a significant premium in the marketplace. For a coin like the 2007 Roosevelt dime, its value really lies in the rarity of those uncirculated or mint condition examples. Finding one of these dimes in pristine condition, free from marks, scratches, or any noticeable wear, is a collector's dream. These uncirculated coins often have a much higher value than those that show signs of everyday use. Another important aspect that contributes to the value of the 2007 Roosevelt dime is its mint mark. As you probably know, U.S. coins are minted in various locations, each with its own distinct mint mark. The 2007 dime was produced at multiple mints, with the most common mint marks being D for Denver and P for Philadelphia. The mint mark plays a critical role in determining a coin's rarity and value, especially when certain mints produce fewer coins than others. Coins from certain mints, especially those with low mintage numbers, can be more valuable due to their rarity, but that's not all. One of the most exciting things about the 2007 Roosevelt dime is that some of these coins were struck with rare errors. Minting errors are a big deal in the world of numismatics because they make a coin one of a kind. From misaligned dies to double strikes or over inks, these mistakes can make a regular coin worth far more than its face value. A single error-struck 2007 Roosevelt dime could easily fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the nature of the error. Now, let's talk about the true value of the 2007 Roosevelt Silver $1. If you're lucky enough to come across a coin from this year in impeccable condition or with a unique minting error, you could be sitting on a goldmine. While most of these coins may only be worth a couple of dollars above face value in average condition, a pristine, rare, or error-struck 2007 Roosevelt Dime could be worth a staggering $57,000, that's right, $57,000 for a single dime. It may seem unbelievable, but this is the reality of the coin collecting world. Coins that are rare, well-preserved, and feature unique characteristics can appreciate in value over time, sometimes by an astonishing amount. So, if you come across a 2007 Roosevelt Dime that looks like it's in great condition, take a closer look. It could be worth a lot more than you think. Today, we're about to explore one of the more fascinating and sometimes overlooked coins in U.S. history, the United States Roosevelt Silver 1 Dime from 1981. This small coin may look unassuming at first, but you'll be amazed at the potential it holds. Stick around, because by the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much this seemingly humble dime could be worth today. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple in American currency for decades, and it's a coin that holds a lot of historical significance. First minted in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the dime has always been a symbol of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The design, crafted by artist John R. Sinek, captures Roosevelt's dignified portrait on the obverse, and the reverse features the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing the values of freedom, peace, and strength. But today, we're specifically focusing on the 1981 issue, and here's why it's so interesting. In 1981, the Roosevelt dime was still made from a copper-nickel alloy, which is a significant change from the older versions of the coin that contained 90% silver. The silver content was reduced in 1965, but the legacy of the Roosevelt dime as a symbol of American resilience and strength remained unchanged. So, while the 1981 version of the coin might not be entirely silver, it still represents a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history. This particular year also saw the continuation of the coin's simple yet effective design, maintaining the elegance that has made it beloved by collectors and the general public alike. When it comes to the 1981 Roosevelt dime, one of the key factors that makes it special is the rarity and condition in which the coin was preserved. Like many coins from this era, the 1981 dime was produced in large quantities, making it widely circulated. Most of these coins saw heavy use in everyday transactions and have the typical signs of wear, scratches, tarnish, and slight discoloration. However, among those millions of dimes, there are a select few that were kept in pristine condition, uncirculated and untouched by time. It's these rare, well-preserved examples that attract serious collectors and can make all the difference when it comes to value. One of the things that really stands out about the 1981 Roosevelt dime is the importance of the mint mark. For most coins, the mint mark indicates where the coin was produced, and this can significantly affect the coin's value. The 1981 dimes were struck at multiple U.S. mint facilities, and the location of the mint can be found on the obverse side of the coin. Coins minted in Philadelphia do not feature a mint mark, while those produced in Denver are marked with a D, and those made in San Francisco are marked with an S. Coins from the San Francisco mint tend to be rarer than those from the other facilities, and this can make them much more valuable to collectors, but that's not all. Some 1981 Roosevelt dimes contain rare minting errors that make them even more sought after. Mistakes during the minting process can lead to variations in the coin's design, such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or even incorrect mint marks. These errors are highly coveted by collectors because they are one-of-a-kind pieces, each with its own unique history. If you happen to have a 1981 Roosevelt dime with one of these errors, you might be sitting on a treasure that could be worth a small fortune. Let's talk numbers for a moment. How much could a 1981 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime be worth? Well, if you come across a coin in uncirculated condition, or one with a rare mint error or unusual feature, you could be looking at a significant payoff. While the majority of these dimes are worth only a few dollars above their face value, certain coins, especially those that are well preserved or error-struck, can sell for astronomical prices in the right market. Now, are you ready for the big reveal? If you happen to have an exceptional 1981 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime in flawless condition, or one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $87,000. Today, we've got an exciting topic that will have you looking at your pocket change a little differently. We're diving into the world of the United States Roosevelt Silver 1 dime, specifically the 2008 mint mark. While most people think of dimes as just everyday coins, today we're uncovering the hidden value behind the 2008 Roosevelt dime. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this little dime could be worth. The Roosevelt dime has been an iconic part of American currency since 1946, introduced in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. The coin's design is simple, yet meaningful, featuring the dignified profile of Roosevelt on the obverse, symbolizing his legacy as a leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. On the reverse, the coin displays a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing freedom, peace, and strength. But what makes the 2008 version of the Roosevelt dime stand out among the rest? Let's take a deeper dive. The 2008 Roosevelt dime marks the 62nd year of this coin's continuous production. Over the years, the Roosevelt dime has undergone several changes in its composition, but in 2008, the coin was still primarily made from a copper-nickel alloy, with a minimal amount of silver content. The silver was mostly phased out of dimes in 1965, so by 2008, these coins were no longer the same as the 90% silver dimes issued during earlier years. But despite the change in material, the Roosevelt dime continued to hold a significant place in American currency. Now, let's talk about why the 2008 Roosevelt dime is particularly interesting for collectors. In terms of design, the 2008 version didn't feature any major changes. Roosevelt's profile remained the focal point, and the reverse continued to feature the familiar torch, olive branch, and oak branch, which together reflect the enduring ideals of the United States. However, the real story lies in the condition and rarity of this coin. Many of the 2008 dimes were produced in large quantities, and as with most circulated coins, they saw their fair share of wear and tear. Most of these coins spent years in circulation, passing from hand to hand, and as a result, the vast majority of them show signs of use, such as scratches, discoloration, and other imperfections. However, there are some 2008 dimes that were preserved in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, and it's these coins that have the potential to fetch a much higher price. Condition is one of the biggest factors in determining the value of any coin, and the 2008 Roosevelt dime is no different. While a dime in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents more than its face value, an uncirculated dime, one that has been stored properly, free from damage or wear, can see its value skyrocket. These pristine examples are much rarer than you might think, and for collectors, finding a flawless 2008 Roosevelt dime is like striking gold. But that's not all. Another factor that could make a 2008 Roosevelt dime particularly valuable is the mint mark. If you look closely at the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the mint mark, which indicates where the coin was struck. The 2008 dimes were minted at several different U.S. mint locations, with coins from the Philadelphia Mint not bearing a mint mark, coins from the Denver Mint marked with a D, and coins from the San Francisco Mint marked with an S. Generally speaking, coins from the San Francisco Mint tend to be rarer, especially those that weren't heavily circulated. Because of the lower mintage of these dimes, they can be more valuable to collectors who seek out coins with specific mint marks. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the possibility of finding rare minting errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production process, whether it's an issue with the die, an error in striking, or an issue with alignment. These errors can result in some truly unique and valuable coins. For example, a double strike, misaligned die, or improperly stamped mint mark can turn an ordinary 2008 Roosevelt dime into a rare find worth a lot more money. In the world of coin collecting, error coins are highly prized because they are one of a kind. If you happen to come across a 2008 Roosevelt dime with one of these minting errors, it could be worth far more than its face value. These error coins are not just rare, they are considered true treasures in the numismatic world. So, what could a 2008 Roosevelt dime be worth? The answer depends on several factors, including its condition, the mint mark, and whether it has any unique errors or features. While a regular 2008 Roosevelt dime in average condition may not be worth much more than a few cents above its face value, the right coin in exceptional condition or with a rare error can fetch an impressive price. In fact, some of these coins have been known to sell for astronomical amounts when they hit the market. Are you ready for the big reveal? If you've got a 2008 Roosevelt dime in flawless, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a minting error or special characteristic, you could be looking at a value of $89,000. Today, we're going to dive into a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but has hidden potential that could surprise you: the United States Roosevelt Silver 1 dime from 1987. This small coin could be worth much more than its face value, and by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much you could potentially make from just one of these dimes. Stick around as we uncover the story behind the 1987 Roosevelt dime, and find out just how valuable it could be. The Roosevelt dime, which was first issued in 1946 in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, has been a beloved staple in American coinage for over 7 decades. The design itself is simple but powerful. On the obverse, you'll find Roosevelt's profile, a reminder of his leadership during some of the most challenging times in American history. The reverse side features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing freedom, peace, and strength. This design has remained relatively unchanged over the years, and while it's familiar to many, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Now, let's zoom in on the 1987 version of the Roosevelt dime. By this time, the coin was made from a copper-nickel alloy, as silver content in dimes was phased out in 1965. So while the 1987 dimes didn't carry the same amount of silver as the older dimes, they still represent an important piece of U.S. coin history. The year 1987 marked a period when the Roosevelt dime was still part of the everyday circulation, and millions of these dimes were minted, but as we all know, not every coin is kept in pristine condition. One of the main factors that makes the 1987 Roosevelt dime valuable today is the rarity of finding one in uncirculated, near-perfect condition. Coins that were heavily circulated over the years show obvious signs of wear, like scratches, tarnishing, and other damage from constant handling. However, some of the 1987 dimes were carefully preserved, and those well-kept coins are what collectors covet the most. If you happen to find a 1987 Roosevelt dime in uncirculated condition, you've already got a coin worth a lot more than just 10 cents. The key to the high value of a 1987 Roosevelt dime lies in its preservation. While most dimes from this year are easy to find in average condition, it's the uncirculated examples that really stand out in the world of coin collecting. These dimes, free from scratches and blemishes, are the ones that demand attention from serious numismatists. And if you're lucky enough to find a 1987 Roosevelt dime that has been well maintained, you could be sitting on a rare and valuable piece of American coinage. Another important factor in determining the value of the 1987 Roosevelt dime is the mint mark. As you probably know, the mint mark tells you where the coin was struck. The Philadelphia Mint does not place a mint mark on their coins, so a 1987 Roosevelt dime from Philadelphia will have no mint mark. The Denver Mint, however, marks its coins with a D, and the San Francisco Mint marks its coins with an S. While mint marks can be a useful way to determine rarity, all 3 types of mint marks from 1987 are relatively common, but finding them in top condition is still what matters most. Now, let's talk about a factor that can truly make this coin stand out from the rest: minting errors. Sometimes, during the minting process, something goes wrong. Whether it's a die misalignment, a double strike, or an improperly placed mint mark, errors can happen that make a coin even more unique. These error coins are highly sought after by collectors because of their rarity and the story they tell. If your 1987 Roosevelt dime happens to have one of these errors, it could add even more value to your coin. Collectors are always on the lookout for these types of rare variations because they are considered one-of-a-kind pieces. An error coin can increase in value by thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity of the mistake and the demand from collectors. So, when you're checking your dimes, don't forget to look for any unusual features that might set your coin apart from the rest. So, what could a 1987 Roosevelt dime be worth today? The value of this coin can vary depending on several factors, such as its condition, mint mark, and whether or not it has any rare minting errors. Most 1987 dimes in average circulated condition won't fetch more than a few dollars above their face value. However, coins in exceptional condition, especially those that are uncirculated or feature minting errors, can be worth far more. It's the rare, well-preserved examples that can truly skyrocket in value. Are you ready for the big reveal? If you happen to have an uncirculated 1987 Roosevelt silver 1 dime in your collection, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of $99,000, that's right, $99,000 for a single 1987 Roosevelt dime. It may sound unbelievable, but when you consider the rarity and demand for well-preserved, error-free coins, this value is entirely possible. So, the next time you find a 1987 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to carefully inspect it. You never know, what might seem like a simple dime could be worth an incredible fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and want to learn more about how to identify hidden treasures in your own collection, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any future coin discoveries that could change your life. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.